Hey guys, what's up? Alaska here. Today I'm going to be showing you guys how to start up cold and dark pretty much any Airbus A320 aircraft, including the beautiful fly-by-wire A320NEO mod for Microsoft Flight Simulator. I hope you guys are ready to learn how I do Airbus, how I start the Airbus. It's going to be absolutely awesome, guys, so be sure to have a pen, a paper, a Google Doc, whatever you guys are going to use today. And without further ado, let's get this tutorial started. And this is pretty much going to show you guys how to start anything in X-Plane. That's pretty much the same A320 cockpit concept. And that's exactly what we're going to be doing today here with the A320neo. Alright, so without further ado, let's jump in the flight deck. So first thing we want to do is have our ground power unit connected. As you guys can see, you're going to see something if we go up to our overhead, just like so. It's going to say external power. Click that on. Bam, that's step one. Step two, batteries need to come on. So you're going to hear the airplane fire up, just like that, guys. Watch this. Airplane's coming alive. Make sure your PFD, your displays, turn those up, because you're going to want to see. Now, I know you guys are so used to seeing the regular, you know, colored PFD. Unfortunately, we have to align the IRS. That's going to be our next step. So tune your ADIRS to nav, left, right, and center. So that's the next thing you guys want to do. Next, make sure your fuel pumps are on. So turn on all 6 fuel pumps up here. That is good. Oh boy. Well, I guess that's what we get to do next, folks. I need to mute my alerts. Oh boy. Well, folks, little test there. Alright, awesome. Awesome. Alright, guys, so from there, external power fuel pumps are on. All looks good there. But thank you for that subscription. Next thing we want to do is we want to move these little switches right here to the center. That's what I do as well. So our cockpit, our forward cabin, our aft cabin, just kind of make sure they're around the center. That's what I do. There we go. There we go. All 3 are good there. That looks good. Our iris is aligning. So that's your steps. Make sure your nav and logo lights come on. Next thing we want to do is turn our cruise supply to on. And I'm going to switch this to the captain and the purse. That's exactly what I do there. Alright, everything's set up there. Next thing we want to do is do our emergency exit lights to armed. And that's basically you're good to go down to your... Whoop, wrong button, folks. Let's see. I might not have it set on this one. But next thing we want to do is go down to our FMS. So, here you are, the MCDU, we should say, in Airbus. That's exactly what you want to do next. So we're going to clear that. And the first thing we want to do is we want to go to our init page. Now our init page is going to be where we put in our flight plan, our route from point A to point B. We're going to put our flight number, we're going to align our IRS, all that. So we're going to do a little bit of a test flight here, guys, using SimBrief. If I make this a bit smaller so you guys can see as well, that's exactly what we're going to do. So first thing we do is our from to our to. So that's going to be your departure airport to your arrival airport. So we're going to go KLAX, excuse that, KLAX over to KSFO. So that's what we drop in there. Okay, doesn't want to work. Let's try it again. KLAX, sometimes San Francisco. Let's just do KSAN, right? Drop that in. Watch. So that's going to go in. You're going to click the return button there. Next thing you want to do is you want to put in your flight number. We're going to be Alaska 559er. Drop that into your flight number. So flight number is in. You can put in your alternate. Let's say we're going to go to KSNA. So that goes in for your alternate. Next thing you want to do is you want to go to our iris in it. Now, if you remember, guys, when we went up here and we tuned these to the nav, right? So you guys are going to notice that comes on, but we need to get our whole map, the PFD for that going. So what we do here is we're going to see our last init. It's going to pull up where we are. Click align on ref. Click confirm align, click return, and that is set, guys. Give it about, I'd say it'll tell you right here, you have 4 minutes to go, and that is going to go to where it normally goes. Perfect. Alright, so for your cost index, all that's going to go with SimBrief. So cost index, let's just say for today, we're going to be doing it with 100. So just drop a number in there that works. Your cruise altitude, let's say we want to put that in. You're going to put flight level. Let's go 150, right? Short flight. So just put that in. Put your cruise flight level in there. and it'll bring up your temperature, outside air temperature at that level. Great. Next thing you guys want to do is you want to go to your flight plan page. Now I know this is something that is a lot different. I know in the Boeing FMCs it's going to say, you know, you're going to put it in back on like the init and you go to the next page, right? And it's going to have like where you drop the waypoints, your vias, your twos, all that fun stuff. But here we do it like this. So for Airbus, you have a separate, or Boeing, you have a separate departure and arrival page. Here it's all in one, very easy. So we start by doing our departure. We're going to be departing out of LAX. So you go, here, let me show this. LAX. Next thing you want to do is you want to click departure. Here, first thing you want to do is select your runway. If SimBrief is telling me we're going to be taking off on 25 right, so you can kind of just pick that, right? Next thing you can do is you're going to select your SID for departure. I'm not going to select anything right now, but let's just say you select a SID. I can just select pretty much anything. Let's say we do the Orca 5, and then you're going to select your transition. And from there, you can just put anything, right? Next thing you want to do is you want to click Insert. That's going to bring it in. We're going to have RNAV Docker. You can run through your flight plan, just like so, folks. Now, the final, or when you want to insert the different, let's say, waypoints on your flight plan, right? If we're looking at, this is San Francisco, right? It says Stoked and Surfer. What you need to do here is you're going to put Stoked, right? S-T-O-K-D. Now click on it right at the San Diego, whatever is left, whether it's a discon, whatever's after your next waypoint. So put it there. That's going to insert it to your flight plan, right? You're going to do that same thing. Then we have Surfer. We don't have to put that in, but let's just try it. S-E-R-F-R. So Surfer. Drop that in. Same deal, right? It's going to come right after Stoked. You can ignore that. So Stoked, then Surfer. Click Insert once all your waypoints are in. That's going to shoot it right into the flight plan, guys. Just like so. Now let's say we're going to do our arrival, right? We need to click the arrival airport, the destination. It's going to be right at the bottom. Click that. Go to Arrival. And you're going to select your runway, ILS, localizer, RNAV, whatever you want. We're going to be doing the localizer runway 27, let's say. And you can select your arrival, Comics 2. You can do no via, you can do no transition, whatever works. And you're going to click Insert. And what that does is you're going to run through your whole flight plan, just like so, and it's going to bring you all the way to your arrival, and that's exactly how it works. If you see any discons, you're going to click the Clear button, just like this. Watch. Clear. That's going to clear any route, waypoint, discon, anything like that. So that is good on that part. Beautiful. So, your flight plan looks to be in, right? I know this is screwed up, guys. Just ignore that part because, you know, the route is totally off. So from here, you want to go to your perf page. As you can see, usually you're going to have to manually insert your V-speeds, but we can just kind of do that like so. For the flaps, you're going to set your flap position. I do flaps 1, and you're going to put whatever it is. So I put down and then 0.2. Drop it in there, right? Now, if you have a flexed attempt, let's say ours is going to be 52 or something like that, you can do that. Otherwise, you're going toga, and that's how sometimes we do it. From there, you're going to go to your next page. That's going to be your climb page. We can clear that. I believe our IRS is aligned. So now our IRS has aligned, folks. And as you can see, your flight plan is going to appear right on the main page. So going back to the MCDU here, that is good. Your climb page, so that's going to have your climb, your speed. It's all usually managed for you. And then you want to go to your cruise page. So that is in. That looks good, and all that looks great. And then you have your approach page, which you will configure on the final approach or descent into the arrival airport. You can get your QNH, so you can put 1013, let's say, you know, something like that. Temperature, maybe it's 22. And the winds are going to be 1407, right? You can just put whatever the real info is. That's just for example. All this is for example. Great. So that is in. Next thing you want to do is you want to go back to your init page, and you're going to go to this button right here. You're going to go to the next page, and this is exactly what you do. You're going to put in your zero fuel weight and all that fun stuff. So for me, if I click it in the fly-by-wire, it comes up, drop it in just like that, and you're going to click your block fuel. Or you can put in your block fuel, let's say it's 7.8, right? Put that in. Great. That's going to go through. You can run through your flight plan. Make sure everything's there. Your altitude is going to be here, and your speed is going to be there. And all that looks good. And that's pretty much what you have. You have your time till arrival, your distance, your extra fuel. and it shows your destination is going to be San Diego runway 27. So that's what it is. That's your MCDU. Bam, set up, done. Great. Back to our cockpit here. As you guys can see, airplane iris is aligned. All that looks good. You can just continue to turn up the brightness as you roll. You can do it in the beginning. You can do it now. Whatever you prefer. Make sure the radios are on. And that is totally good. Alright, great. So, next thing you want to do, guys, is you want to go back to the overhead panel. And let's say you guys are now ready for departure, right? You're going to do your no smoking. Get your seatbelt on. That is good. Emergency exit lights can go to arm. And basically, let's say you're ready to go. Cabin secure, right? We're ready to get out of here. Now you're going to start your APU. So you're going to go APU master switch. Turn that on. Give it a few seconds or so. We're going to go back down here. Make sure our flight plan is good. You're going to turn your flight director on. And you can completely, zoom out on your range. I do that button right there. And let's say we want to set our departure altitude. That's exactly what you do here. Great. Back up to our overhead. Now we can go APU starter. We're going to turn the start to on. We're going to wait for that to give us the green saying APU is good. It's ready to run. We can switch to the APU bleed. And at that point, it's going to transfer over to the APU gen. Now, the APU gen is already turned on. If you turn it off like this, right, nothing's going to happen unless you have power on. So don't do that. Wait for your APU to be started before you disconnect the external power. That way it transfers to your APU generator, and then it'll transfer over to the main gens once the engines are running. Now, next thing we want to do is we're going to wait for that. It usually takes a bit here. We're going to set our auto brake to max once we push, but I can do that now, just so you guys don't forget. We're going to set our departure altitude right here. Speed is in the managed mode. I'm going to make another video on how to run the autopilot. Very simple with Airbus, but this is basically to get you guys ready for takeoff. So, there we go. All is good there. Now, what we want to do up here, we're going to get back to the overhead. You're going to see this in just a second. Wait for it to get in the green. Let's say that we can call for our pushback at this point. We're going to get our beacon light on as the push tug gets over here. That is good. So, that's in the auto. That's good. Make sure everything's working normally. We can jump back down here. There we go. So now we can see our APU is starting up here. And we're going to wait for it to have some power. And so it's ready to go. And that looks good. So we can just watch our APU here. There we go. APU is ready. Jump back up. It's going to get right in the green any second now because it's just about ready to roll. There we go. So see how it says available? Now you're going to turn on your APU bleed. APU gen is on. We can disconnect the external power and disconnect our GPU because now we are running on the APU power when it says avail. Just make sure your bleed and generators are on. That's great. Alright, back down here, guys. What we want to do now is we want to call for a pushback. Great, pushback tug is coming. So take a look, guys. He's going to come, he's going to push us back now. All is going to be fine and dandy. So, we're going to get ready for engine start in just a minute. Make sure your beacon light is turned on, your APU is good, external power and GPU are disconnected. Mine is, so that is good. Make sure your parking brake is going to come off when they say you can. And we're going to get our engines started, ready to go here. That is good. Alright, let's get our engines started, guys. Super easy in Airbus. So what we want to do, we want to wait for them to start pushing us back. I'm going to release the parking brake here. We're going to go right down here. And this is exactly what I want to do with you guys. So you're going to go right down here. You're going to switch the engine mode selector to the IGN and start position. That's going to pretty much introduce the fuel flow, and you want to turn on engine number 2 or 1 to start. That's going to bring up the engine. It's going to spool it up just like so. And you're going to see, you're going to get some N1 rotation in there in just a second. There you go. It's going to kick on. It's going to start working. We're going to stop our pushback because Microsoft default, we're going to continue our pushback right here, or continue the engine startup, so watch that. If I switch my view, like that, you're going to start to see the engine spool up right there. That's exactly how it works, guys. Easy peasy. Alright, so that looks good. You're going to get that engine. Beautiful sounds. Looks good. Get these brightness displays up here. I like to turn everything on as I go. And that is good. So once you get this, you're going to see something here as it spools up. It's just going to continue to start. That looks good. All is good there. And watch this. It should say it's available, and you can start your next one. There we go. So engines have started. It's pretty much stopped there. That is good. That's your power transfer unit, guys. So that has to do with all of the fuel, the APU, everything just getting transferred. That's your PTU. And that is all controlled up here. But we get to leave that to auto. We don't want to touch that. Great. Next thing we want to do is we want to select engine number 1 or engine number 2, whichever you started first. There you go. So that's going to do the same thing as we did on this side. You're going to see this start to spool up. Oh, let me move that view for you guys. You're going to see your engine spooling up right here. There it goes. Back on the flight deck. And there you go. Engine's going to spool up there. And we're going to have 2 good engines. And we'll go from there. So there we go. You're going to watch that completely turn on. Right? It's spooling up, spooling up, spooling up. There it goes. You hear those beautiful sounds. Oh, yes. Come on. You can do it, airplane. Alright, awesome. And there we go. So we're going to go back on the flight deck. Wait for us to have 2 good engines. We're almost there. And once we get those 2 good engines, I'm going to show you what's next. So, I believe we're just at that point. We're going to wait for it to get to the 19.5-ish position. There we go. So what we want to do now is we want to take our engine mode selector. It's kind of hard to see, but take a look. You're going to move that back to mode normal after they have completely started. Now we can get back to our overhead panel. We're going to turn our taxi light on. That is good. We can take our APU bleed off since we are now running on the main generators. You can see there's no light, no nothing. They're auto, they're on, they're good. And we can turn off our APU master switch, and the start light will come off because that means we have no APU power running. Awesome. So next thing we can do here, if it wants to cooperate, I'm going to adjust that for you guys because I know how much you guys love this beautiful thing. We can check our flight controls, so up, down, left, right, rudder, and rudder. So that is good. Perfect. And that's what we want to do. Make sure our instruments, our flight controls are working. Just like so. You guys can see. They're going. They're good. We're ready to go. We're on the engine power. That means our hydraulics are working just right. And we are good. Awesome. So our auto brake is set. We can now release the parking brake if it was on. We can start our gate-to-gate clock. Now, taxi light is on. I put my strobes up to the... Hello? Airplane. Alright, that's good. I guess I gotta, like, click something else here. Good. Yeah, that's good. Alright, so next thing we can do our power here. Let me reset my cockpit. Sometimes it does that, Microsoft. Where I have to, like, click out of something in order to click in it. So if I go, like, here, right, we can start our taxi. Taxi light is on. And now we can get some lights on. And that is good. So, we can now drop the flap. Just like so. Right, we're going to make our taxi out. There we go. Next thing you want to do is you want to do it just like so. Get your strobes on as you come near the runway. And you can now do your turn off lights. And that should be good. For some reason, my button isn't working today. Not sure why. You want to make sure your auto braking go back to max. And you want to have no blue on the ECAM before takeoff. Right before takeoff, make sure you do the takeoff config button. Again, not sure what's up with my mouse here. I believe if I just go like this, it should help. There we go. Alright, awesome. And there you go. Just like that. Awesome. Let me go in here, guys. See what's up with my mouse. There we go. If I go to options... Nope. Nope. We'll fix that for you guys. Let me just go to my mouse and make sure that is good. Great. Seriously, not sure what's up with it. But that should be alright. Alright, cool. So, as we taxi out, guys, make sure you turn on your lights. Make sure that is all good. And, bam. You got some working engines. You got an airplane ready to take off. And that is absolutely awesome, guys. There you go. You're just about ready for takeoff. Your flaps are set. Everything is just the way we like it, guys. I mean, look at that. You got 2 beautiful engines ready to get out of here. And you're in line for takeoff, guys. There's nothing else you need to know unless you want to learn the autopilot, and which I will teach you guys at a later video. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope this really helped you guys out in learning how to start the Airbus from cold to dark to ready for takeoff. And there's not much else to it, guys. Airbus is super simple, super fun to learn. Hope you guys found this tutorial helpful. Don't forget to hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Ignore my taxing skills right here. You're good to go. You're ready for takeoff. You're off to San Diego, guys. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial, and I will catch you guys on the next stream. See you later!